so help me God. Washington added that, and every president since then has done that. And so then, since I'm making a point about the oath of office that all of our people that take care of this country have taken, I'll cite you something that John Kennedy said in his inaugural speech. He said, we are, after he got done with his oath, he was given a speech, he said, we are celebrating today not a victory of party, but a celebration of freedom. For I have just sworn before you and Almighty God the same solemn oath our forebears prescribed a century and three-quarter ago. Now, so there you have that part of it. But I pulled an example out, and I thought Abraham Lincoln gave the best example I could find to this day of a president defending his oath of office. You see, he becomes president, he takes his oath, and he starts fighting this Civil War. And to go back a little bit, Stephen Douglas wanted to, in 1858, he was the senator of Illinois, and he wanted to take slavery into the new territories, and he wanted the people to vote to see if there was, if it was okay to have slaveries in these new states. And that's always been a conflict all through our earlier history. And if you look at, I think it was Maine came in as a free state, and Missouri came in as a slave state, and they came in together because they were bound in legislation, so there was no tip in the balance from our country in the United States Senate and our politics. That's why it came in together, is to keep the balance, because we're fighting to keep from going to Civil War, and that's how we did it. But anyway, so Lincoln's debating with Stephen Douglas, and he says to the people, for his argument, he said, we don't vote, because Douglas wanted to vote to see if we could have slavery. So we don't vote to see if people can steal. We know it's wrong. And we don't vote to see if there's slavery, because slavery is wrong, and we shouldn't even vote on it. And he said the same thing, we don't vote to see if the people can kill. We know that's wrong. So that's how simple Lincoln made his argument. But he lost that race for Senate, but it gave him great popularity with the North, and he became our 16th president. And as soon as he did, he started fighting this Civil War. It happened right there underneath his nose as soon as he took office. And so after a couple of years, the New York paper, Horace Greeley was the editor of it, and he's chastising President Lincoln in the paper. He said, what is your policy? You said you were for freeing the slaves, and all you've done is fight this Civil War. And this is where Lincoln wrote back an open paper, and you can find it on Google, an open letter to the people of the United States. And this is basically what he said. He said, for those of you who would save the Union only if you could abolish slavery, I disagree. And he said, for those of you who would save our Union only if you could keep slavery, I disagree. Now, it looks like he's disagreeing with everybody, but he says the paramount object of this struggle is to save our Union and restore it back under the Constitution in the shortest possible way. And he said, if I could do it without freeing a single slave, I would do it. And if I could save our Union by freeing all the slaves, I would do that also. And then here's this, to his point, he says, I have just stated to you my official duties as President of the United States, his oath of office. He said, but those are not my often expressed personal views, that all men should be free.